So I haven't uploaded in 2 months/10 weeks, and my real last upload to a majority of you hasn't been in way longer than that. So I wanted to make like an actual real ass update video and talk about some things, about like where I've been, what I've been doing, what I plan to do, and whatnot, because YouTube content. For starters, where I've been, I'm mainly going to be focusing on where I've been these past 2 months, but then I will kind of get into like the bigger picture. So for starters, over the past 10 weeks, like I've been up to a lot of things. Like I've had a job that I've been working at, and I've also been watching a lot of Dragon Ball. I swear this is a real video. I'm just also going to be talking about Dragon Ball, because if I don't talk about Dragon Ball, I'm going to drive myself insane, so I hope we can come to an understanding there. So Dragon Ball Z begins with Goku. Again, this is a real video. So Dragon Ball Z begins with Goku. He's coming out from Dragon Ball. You know, he's fought, like he's made his friends, he's fought in martial arts tournaments, taken on the Red Ribbon Army, and you're just supposed to kind of know who those people are if you skip Dragon Ball. Piccolo is green. His Goku, turns out, he's an alien called a Saiyan, and his brother, in episode 1, his brother comes in, and his brother's really evil. So they fight his brother and kill him immediately. If I were to compare this to my channel, I don't know how I would do that, but I'm going to be doing that, so that's kind of the format here. That's the gimmick. I'm going to be talking about Dragon Ball, and I'm going to compare that to my past, present, and future. Alright? Cool. So they fight his brother, and you think it's his brother's going to be an important character. He's not, and they just off him for some reason, because I guess that's what you do with a brother of a main character. But Goku also dies. Now, my channel is dead, haha, but I wouldn't say that's where it was, because Raditz says on his way out, that's Goku's brother, that 2 other Saiyans, Vegeta and Nappa, are coming to Earth. So what Goku does, he and all of his friends, they start getting ready, and they start preparing for the ultimate battle of their lives. I think this is Project SBR, kind of, for me, because, you know, I kind of had my whole gang of people, and we all really trained for the ultimate content, and that was all because of circumstances. Like, the only reason that Project SBR came into existence is because I had nothing to do over the pandemic, and I had a lot of free time on my hands. I know a lot of you are subscribed for Project SBR, but in all seriousness, there's probably not going to be another episode of that, because there is just a lot of time. Like, I am still a college student, entering my last year of college. I still have jobs that I have to do, and I do not have the time needed to make a Project SBR episode, at least in the amount of time that they used to be made in. And even if I wanted to, even if I really wanted to, like, I have other things to talk about and do and contribute. It was a great project, but, you know, eventually the fight with Vegeta ends, you know? And Piccolo, the green one, dies because he held Piccolo was attached to another green guy named Kami, and because he died, the Dragon Balls disappeared, and because the Dragon Balls disappeared, all their friends were dead for real. So what do? Well, they go to the planet full of green people called Namekians on planet Namek. See what I did there? So on planet Namek, they go there because that planet, it will also have their own set of Dragon Balls. They'll use those Dragon Balls to bring back Piccolo. Then they can use the Earth Dragon Balls to bring back everyone who died fighting Vegeta. Really loosely trying to come up with a connection to my update here, but I'll just keep going on the Dragon Ball route until I find something that sticks. So they are like, well, let's get to planet Namek. Vegeta also knows about this. Vegeta survived the fight. And Vegeta also wants to go to planet Namek to get the Dragon Balls because he works for this big space dictator called Frieza. And I think Frieza actually might be a good stand-in for just like YouTube as like not career, but like YouTube as like a serious hobby and taking YouTube seriously. Because, fun fact, YouTube sucks. It's not fun when you take it seriously. Nothing creative is fun when you take it seriously. Because when you take something creative seriously, and you start, like, making things for another person, uh, it's not nearly as fun. Like, I develop games, and developing a game for like a AAA studio or like in a profession, like if that's your job, there is a pressure to like make sure that is done well, right? And when you compare that to just making a game in your free time or making a YouTube video because you want to, that's the whole deal. And because of the atmosphere of YouTube, you guys know this. I don't have to tell you this, but what you don't know is what happens on Planet Namek. You see, Frieza's there because he heard about the Dragon Balls. Vegeta's there because he heard about the Dragon Balls. Goku and Goku's friend Krillin and his son are there. Goku has a son. He is canonically fucked, but I think he bottoms because he doesn't know what kissing is. Goku's in a loveless marriage, alright? So they're on their way to they're at Planet Vegeta with Bulma, a normal-ass human. And keep in mind, Bulma and Vegeta become husband and wife someday. And I spent the entire arc just waiting for them to meet and then have their chance encounter, but it never happened this arc, and I got so mad when that didn't happen because I knew that going in. And Goku is on his way for like half the arc. Vegeta comes in, he wrecks house, he fucks up some Frieza soldiers, and Frieza and everybody. See, here's how this entire arc worked. The Dragon Balls are important, but they're also very inconvenient to hold 7 of at a time. So that is how 90% of the stuff in this arc happens, because characters can't carry 7 things at a time, so they'll like hide a Dragon Ball in like the bushes, and then another character will come by going, hey, I found the Dragon Ball in the bushes, and then they just keep doing that. Everyone's fighting. Vegeta, he comes in, he's doing his thing. Frieza, he fights Frieza eventually. I'm skipping over a lot. And Frieza kills Vegeta. Goku gets there, and Goku fights Frieza because Frieza beat Vegeta, and Goku has been training. That's a lot of early Dragon Ball Z is just wait for Goku to get there because Goku is strong, which isn't great writing, but I love it because here's the interesting thing: I am like a fan of Dragon Ball, and that is incredible because I can't remember the last time I've been like a fan of something since like Dark Souls, but like I guess the more notable example is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure because like I was a fan of that. Like Dragon Ball's fucking kick ass. Like Goku in Fortnite, new movie coming out. Yeah, sign me up. I've watched a lot of Dragon Ball. So let me hop back over to the update and try to fucking figure out how to compare this. If you guys want my thoughts on like JoJo's, I still love JoJo. It's great. If you actually want my thoughts on it, I highly recommend watching my hour-long April Fool's video. Yes, in that video, I talk about Venom and Venom 2 for like 96% of the runtime, but I think that's pretty indicative of how I feel towards JoJo. Like, there is nothing happening in JoJo. The anime is screwed over by Netflix. We know that. Part 9 is coming eventually. We know that. And the fact that nothing's happened means that I think right now in the community, it's kind of been like this, but it's definitely like it now. People have definitely run out of things to talk about, and it shows, and I've run out of things to talk about. I would rather talk about other things. I've been a fan of JoJo for 7 years, and I'm still a fan. But why? I'm not, it's been 7 years, you know? Like, what am I, in the hyperbolic time chamber? That's a Dragon Ball joke, because I know a lot of you guys watch JoJo. This is a serious update video. It's not just me rambling, because if it was just me rambling, so Goku fights Frieza, and he turns into a Super Saiyan, because the entire arc, Vegeta's hyping up this thing called the Legendary Super Saiyan. Frieza blew up Goku and Vegeta's planet, by the way. Cool. And that's, I'd say, and then Goku goes Super Saiyan. Which, I dyed my hair, like, I not dyed it, but, like, I highlighted my hair earlier this summer, to be, like, more blonde. So I guess that's kind of the overlap here. And they fight for 19 episodes. It's great! Oh my god, they fight for, and it's, like, engaging for 19, it's not like you're like, oh, it's still going. Like, I was shocked that, like, I was like I was 15 episodes in, and only then was I going like, huh, this is starting to get a little long. But it kept going. Like, there's like parts where Goku bites his tail, there's parts where Frieza stands on Goku's head, Goku's like in the water, and like as they're fighting, the planet's blowing up. So it's really sick because it's like the longer they fight, the more fire and stuff goes. Spoilers for a lot of Dragon Ball, by the way. Goku beats Frieza, and he's still on the dying planet. Everybody's left. They've used the Dragon Balls in a very clever writing display of, like, because one set of Dragon Balls gets 3 wishes, but they're limited, and then one set of Dragon Ball gets, and then the Earth Dragon Balls just get the 1 wish, but then they update that later. Point is, it's actually really impressive the wishes they make in order to make this work. But Goku stays on the planet in order to finish off Frieza, and the planet blows up, and Goku dies. So I think in terms of like uploading videos, I found like a groove that I like for myself. Like uploading videos like this, where I just talk to the camera about bullshit, is so much fun. It's boring as hell for you guys to watch, probably. I understand that. But like, I have fun making these videos, and keep in mind, I do like making serious videos, and I do plan on making serious videos again in the future, but at the same time, it's like, while I'm a student, and while I have a lot of other things going on, these are the videos that I can make, because like, I want to make something creative, and I want to just kind of like document something on the internet. These are the videos to do that, for the time being. And then when I graduate, obviously I'm going to be working a 9 to 5 somewhere, and I'm going to have a lot of free time at night just to basically make serious videos. And maybe then I'll give it a series, because I like being creative, I really do, and it's actually been kind of boring having not made anything, even if it's something silly. I kind of want to make stuff more in line with my recent 2 uploads, where I kind of did like, they weren't total shit posts, they were actually like, there was a concept to them. Even though they were still a bit, you could label them as a joke. The AI-generated humor stream was fantastic. I think that was probably one of my smartest ideas, if I didn't ruin the joke immediately. So, everyone's back on Earth, in terms of Dragon Ball, and, Trunks... Oh, I spoiled it. Fuck. Uh-oh. Who's Trunks? I don't know. So they sense the energy. Frieza's alive, Goku's still dead, and Frieza's a cyborg now, and his dad's coming in, and they fly to Earth, and everybody's getting ready. It's just like the Saiyan saga again, and when they're there, a mysterious Super Saiyan appears, and, oh, by the way, Vegeta and Bulma have met, and Vegeta bottoms, and you cannot tell me that Bulma doesn't top. She does. She tops. Also, Bulma she doesn't divorce because they weren't married, but Yamcha is a funny guy who loses a lot. I swear I'm explaining this in a coherent way, and this isn't a pointless video. This video is an important video, and I encourage that you keep watching, because there's a lot of updates and also Dragon Ball recap I gotta do. So Trunks he's the Super Saiyan with the sword, and he cuts up Frieza in the coolest shot, where he cuts him down the middle, and then the screen does like this. It's so cool. It's so cool. And he kills both Frieza, and so you're like, what the fuck? And Trunks is explaining like, Goku returns. He's still alive, because they try to wish Goku back with the Dragon Balls, and then Shenron's like, Goku doesn't want to come right now, he's training somewhere, because of course he is, he loves fighting. I think I'll bring this up later in the Dragon Ball recap, spoiler alert, Trunks tells Goku in private that he is from the future, he is Vegeta and Bulma's son, and, he is basically trying to prevent a crisis with these people called the androids, and that's who they're going to be fighting. And Goku's going to get sick, so he should definitely take this medicine now. Goku does not take the medicine, and that is again, we have to wait for Goku for a lot of Dragon Ball Z, but this arc doesn't do it as bad. So yeah, in terms of like YouTube content, I like talking about things, but I do think there's like a level of cheapness to that. When you talk about a popular series like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and that's how you get a large that's quite the way to do it. At least it's not in a satisfying way. That's a great way to chase the numbers. Like, I have 10,000 subscribers, and I don't know how to feel about that, because I don't think those 10,000 people are, like, I don't think they care about me. I think they just either liked the product I was making, Project SBR, or they more or less liked just the fact that they like JoJo and they recognized that I was a guy that talked about what they liked. And that's a weird feeling, especially when now I will say it does feel like a burden. Oh, it's a burden, but like, hear me out. It does feel like a burden to have a big following like this, because it's like, oh, I have a big number attached to my name, but only like, I'd say like 100 actual people who give a rat's ass about me. And I thought that was interesting. I would really like to not have a platform anymore. I really do. I don't think I should have one, because, I mean, Project SBR was amazing, and I know that that's how I earned a lot of it, but that wasn't just me. Like, there's so many people helped with that, and the fact that that's probably not going to get an episode ever, if not a very long time, is weird, because I know a lot of people are here for that, or if not that, JoJo, and it's like, then why am I the one with the big number? It feels unfair, and it feels like a lot of things, and it's probably similar to how Vegeta felt when he realized that the androids could keep up with a Super Saiyan. So they get ready, they train, and it was 3 years? Yeah, it was 3 years, and then they fight Android 20 and 19 that are both ugly, but Android 20 is secretly Dr. Gero, the guy who made the android. So they're kind of cyborgs. They don't matter. They're ugly. What do matter are the ones that Trunks warned about. Android 17, 18, who then revive Android 16, who is built to kill Goku. These three androids are like the best characters in Dragon Ball Z. And actually maybe Dragon Ball as a whole. Like, their whole dynamic as a trio is amazing. Like, I'd say that part of the Cell Saga was kind of but this next part is great, because it's just a lot of moving parts, because meanwhile another android from the future came named Cell, and Cell is like this bioorganism, you know, a cell comprised of the DNA of all the different characters that we know, and you can use all their moves, and he came back from the future because he wanted to fuck up the past. So he's also there, and it's like this non-stop constant chain of events where like Piccolo fights Cell, and Cell and then Cell beats Piccolo, but then Android 17 and 18, they're in the car and they're going somewhere, and everything comes to a head, because the big thing is that Cell, right now, pretty strong, but stoppable. But if he absorbs 17 and 18, then he becomes his perfect self, and then he might be unstoppable. And the only way to defeat him is if you can ascend past the Super Saiyan, which is impossible, because, like, ascending past the Super Saiyan, you can't ascend past the Super Saiyan. And there's a large chain of events where it's basically all happening on one island, where, like, Piccolo fights Android 17, and because he got there first, and then Cell shows up at the island and absorbs Android 17. Then Cell is going to absorb Android 18, but then but before he absorbed 17, Android 16 fought Cell, and it was so cool. And then he got absorbed. Then Android 18, Cell was going to absorb her, but then Tien Shin Han, who you're like, this guy doesn't matter, does the coolest thing in the series, and just says, I'm gonna fucking kill you, Cell, and does that for like 4 minutes straight. It's great. And then that happens, and then then Goku gets there and gets Piccolo and Tien out of there, because they're waiting for Vegeta and Trunks to come out of the hyperbolic time chamber, which is basically like the time room. I'm not going to explain it, even though I made a joke about it earlier. So they get out. Goku and his son Gohan get in there. So Vegeta and Trunks get to the scene, and then they fight Imperfect Cell, which is like the only after absorbing 17 to just kind of stall him off. Krillin is also on his way there to blow up Android 18 because Krillin's gonna do that. Of course you're gonna do that. Otherwise, Cell's gonna be unstoppable, and they're holding them off for a good time. Trunks unleashes like a new form, his idea of ascending past the Super Saiyan, and Vegeta does a similar thing of ascending past the Super Saiyan, but they don't quite ascend past the Super Saiyan. They do it in their own way, and they're fighting Cell, and Krillin gets there to blow up 18, and 18 hasn't flown away or blown herself up, even though she really should have, because she cares about her older bro, 16. So of course, and then 16 is injured, and Krillin wants to blow her up, but then Krillin blows up the detonator because he has a boner for Android 18. Krillin bottoms. Every guy in Dragon Ball bottoms. And this entire like sequence of events of just things happening is honestly probably my favorite portion of Dragon Ball. Like a lot of people hype up the end of the Cell Saga, but that middle portion, in my opinion, is the best of Dragon Ball. I think the Frieza Saga is the best overall saga, but the Cell Saga has definitely the greatest highs in terms of Z. The fuck was that? Anyways, yeah, in terms of like what I want to do with YouTube, I'm not sure. Thanks to working on Project SBR, like I've had the experience of like working on like a serious project, and I loved it. It was hard work, but I'd love to pick up kind of where I left off with that, and not necessarily make like a manga dub again. Like maybe I'll make a manga dub of JoJo Lands, and that'll be something. Like and like I won't be pressured to have like a really quick upload schedule because, you know, JoJo Lands will be coming out every month, and that'll give me time to like take a month and dub the chapter. But at the same time, I don't necessarily want to do that because I already know there's going to be a lot of people in the community, a lot of talented people in the community that are going to jump on that opportunity, and you should follow those projects instead. Instead, what I want to kind of do with my overall experience, gain from YouTube and whatnot, is to basically, in all terms and purposes, for all intents and purposes, is to make something unique to me. I'm a storyteller. I have so many stories to tell that I want to tell, and I think YouTube is a really great avenue to tell those stories. And when I do work on them, I'm going to be working on them for me, not because I know it's JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and that's what you guys want to hear, if that makes sense. But overall, like, that is what I want to do one day. That's the goal. Like, I'd say predominantly one story in my mind for a long time that I wanted to turn into a game, but I know now that that is not the best way to tell the story, and I'd likely do something with YouTube where I get another team of people and I work on that. And when that day comes, I'd love for you guys to stick around and check it out, because it will have probably a similar production value to Project SBR. But that's again after college. And in the meantime, I want to make videos like this where it's not that hard, but I'm at least documenting something that I kind of care about talking about. Like, when Stone Ocean Batch 2 drops, I'll probably make a video like this where I talk to the camera about Stone Ocean. Maybe. I don't know. In the April Fool's video, that does seem like an appropriate last time to talk about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Like, it's a great series. I love it. Fucking, it's amazing. But, you know, I have other things to talk about. Like Dragon Ball. So, Vegeta lets Cell absorb 18 because Vegeta wants to fight Cell at his strongest. It's very stupid, but you know what? It happened. And now Cell is perfect, and nothing happens for like 9 days because Cell's like, alright, none of you guys can beat me. I'm gonna go set up this big tournament, and all of you guys will fight me, and I'll beat all of you, and from there, who knows? Cell has become a bad bitch. And somehow, if he were to have sex, which he doesn't, but if he were, he would bottom. Every guy in Dragon Ball is a bottom. I'm standing by this. So Cell is all about, you know, I've achieved perfection and whatnot. And Goku straight up admits, he spars Cell a little bit, and he goes, Yeah, I am not strong enough. And there's this very somber feeling in the Cell Saga, where after training, Goku is like this tournament against Cell is in 9 days, and Goku just admits, he's like, yeah, no, I can't beat Cell. I can't do it. And he's just relaxing, you know? He's with his son Gohan. They go fishing, and he's just trying to be happy. And when I was watching it, I was like, is this like him? Like, I thought I was reading too much into it. I thought like, oh yeah, it's like Goku trying to have a brave face for his son. I wasn't quite right, but I was right to think that. Because then the tournament happens, and Goku is right. He really can't keep up with Cell. It's a great fight they have. The Warp Kamehameha happens, and that's one of the most iconic Kamehamehas. And yes, for those wondering, I have in my room stood up and tried to do a Kamehameha. It didn't work. I just got a noise complaint. And Goku just quits. He says, I can't beat you. And he stops fighting. And he gives Cell a Senzu Bean to heal up. And Goku tags in his son. Because the reason why Goku was so willing to, you know, be happy knowing he couldn't win is because he believed in his son. And because when they were training in that hyperbolic time chamber, he saw that his son had this potential. And there's a joke in Dragon Ball about like Goku not being a good father. Like Goku is a good person. He's a fun person to watch with great ideals. But he is not a good character. Vegeta is objectively a good character. And because of that, people say that Goku is not a good father. Especially when you compare him to Piccolo, the green one, who raised his son basically. And Piccolo being more of a father. And I think that's really interesting because in Dragon Ball, that final arc is a lot more focused on the difference between a mentor like Piccolo and a father like Goku. Because the entire fight against Gohan and Cell is Piccolo saying he can't do it, Cell is just too strong, and Goku being like, no, I believe in my son. And that's the difference between a father and a mentor. And I think Goku, not the good dad, not the greatest dad, but he's doing his job. But it doesn't look like it's gonna win, you know? Like, like Cell is just too strong, you know? And Goku actually has this moment where he's like, oh fuck, was I wrong? Like, even though he believed in his son, he was like, I don't even know. And, you know, it's all looking grim. But then Android 16, who has the best character arc, my nose is getting clogged, steps in and protects Gohan, I think. I don't remember how it happens. But Android 16 dies. And Gohan taps into Super Saiyan 2. He ascends past the Super Saiyan, and it's glorious, and he beats up Cell so hard that he throws up Android 18. And Goku sacrifices himself to take out Cell once and for all. And, but he doesn't. Cause actually, Cell survived because one cell remained. My nose really itches now. And Cell survives because one cell remained, and now, Cell, this is so bloated for a YouTube video, I am so sorry. And now, Cell survives, and Cell is going to take over the world, because now he's perfect again, and Goku is gone, and Gohan's tapped out, and there's one final beam struggle. Gohan's injured, and he does the Kamehameha one-handed, and Cell, because he has the DNA copy powers, also does a Kamehameha, and, you know, everybody works together, and Gohan's actually concerned about everybody else's safety as they attack Piccolo while he's doing the Kamehameha, but, you know, Goku, again, as a father, tells him, like, don't worry about them, they're strong, they can handle them for themselves, you just give this everything you got, because I can believe in you. and in a brilliant display of like father and son working together, they take out Cell. And it's such a brilliant note to end the Cell saga. Like a monster from the future being taken out by the faith in the future generations. Really, and that was the original end to Dragon Ball, I think, from what I've heard. Like that was supposed to be where it ended, and what a way to send it off. You know, Goku's dead for real, and Gohan is now stepping up to the plate. And to compare this to my YouTube channel of moderate success / mediocrity, I would say I'm like Goku in a way, you know? Like, I have faith in a lot of other channels. If you want to watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure content, fucking go for it. But know that this isn't the place to do it. There are other channels out there that are up and coming, that have been established, and you should have faith in those channels because they are going to be the ones that are going to make the content that you want to watch, not this. And in the meantime, I will be in Otherworld training with a bunch of people until one day someone named Majin Buu comes and I come back from there. And then I fight Majin Buu because now I'm really needed for this completely different thing. And then I fight Majin Buu. And then Dragon Ball Super happens, and I'm gonna be basically the main character. This video sucks.